Welcome back. You're still with us on Startup Street. Every year, the 29th of August is celebrated as National Sports Day. And to mark the date, we bring you a special chat with India's motorsport icon turned entrepreneur Narain Karthikeyan. Given his passion for automobiles, it's no surprise that Narain runs a pre-owned two-wheeler platform, Drivex, which recently raised funds from TVS Motor Company. To talk about the road ahead for his venture, joining me on the show is Narain Karthikeyan, who we all know was the first Indian to become a Formula One racing driver. Welcome to the show, Narain. Narain, you've received the backing of one of the leading automobile companies in India, TVS. How will this partnership help the startup scale its operations, and also what made you think of launching a pre-owned two-wheeler platform?
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Akhil. It's been an awesome journey, and in less than 24 months, we built this platform, Drivex, which primarily we are into the pre-owned two-wheelers in terms of both the subscription and the sale model of these vehicles. We feel that this has a lot of opportunity in India, especially catering to the affordable mobility. Yeah, so we primarily are operating in Tamil Nadu and in Karnataka. And yes, of course, with the TVS Motor Company coming on board, we have, our vision is pan-India. And the vision is very clear. We believe that, we can build this platform and make it, one of the largest pre-owned two-wheeler platform in the world. That has to be the vision, and that's how we all look at it.
Narain, you founded Drivex in the early days of the pandemic. Take me through the challenges you faced and tell me how the business model has evolved.
Yeah, so personal mobility during the pandemic was, everyone was the need of the hour, really. And we felt that, at that time, we got into the subscription and the lease model, August 2020 to be precise. And from then onwards, we have two clear verticals. One is the subscription and the lease model, and the other is the sale model of these pre-owned two-wheelers. You may ask why, two-wheelers and not four-wheelers. The simple reason is that the market size is much larger. Buying a pre-owned two-wheeler seems to be a pain point for the customer. So we realized all of that, and then we put together a platform.
Now, given the shift in preference for personal mobility and global supply chain disruptions, we are seeing a surge in demand for pre-owned vehicles. What kind of traction are you witnessing on your digital platform in terms of sales and subscription? Also, give us a sense of the consumer profile.
The business is still small, but 80% of our revenues comes through the sale model, 20% through the subscription. The subscription, the concept of subscription and lease, of course, is much more easier in tier 1 cities. And there's a lot of traction we see on this. And in tier 2 and 3 cities, and we are in a tier 5 as well, the sale model seems to be having a lot of traction. In many of the cities which we have experiences, they're very aspirational. And, so somebody who's riding a entry-level scooter might want to, get the next level of a sport bike, a 150cc bike, and so on and so forth. So we're witnessing a lot of these changes happening. And, we feel that this is a, huge, potentially a, 11 million unit market per annum, and that keeps growing. And as you said, there are so many factors that, chip shortages and the affordability point of view, and so on and so forth. There is a large demand for these vehicles.
Narain, now let's talk some metrics. Can you break down the revenue and growth numbers for us and take us through the targets you've set for yourself for this year and the next?
We've set our sights on expanding it pan-India, and that's what we would like to do. Right now, in 2021, we did a top line of about 49 lakhs, and then we grew to about 9 crores in the corresponding year. And we feel that we have the potential to grow this 20x in in 22-23. So that's where we are.
Moving on, there is a great deal of debate around sustainability, not only within the automobile industry, but also in motorsport. What's your opinion on the electric vehicle revolution, and what are the gaps that need to be plugged?
The shift to EVs will happen in some some countries much earlier than other countries. It's a point of affordability. The technology in countries are fast changing, and so forth. But what we need to also consider the ICE engines. Yeah, they have become much more greener, and so the efficiencies are they burn much less, and the efficiencies have grown a lot through the years. And yes, no other place better than motorsport. Of course, Formula One uses hybrid technology. We have a Formula E championship, which is pure electric. So it's a great R&D center. Motorsport as it's always been, and everything from smaller capacity engines to turbocharging, all your traction control, ABS, all of them were first introduced in Formula One, and then it's trickled down to our everyday use. So similarly, while this EV revolution is happening all over the world, in some countries, as I told you, it's going to take a bit longer, but it's definitely the future. So that's everybody realizes that, I think.
Narain, one final question before I let you go. How has your journey been from being a Formula One racing driver to now being an entrepreneur?
I think motorsport in the whole, is a business. Formula One especially is a sport, but it's a very complex business as well. So I have had a lot of exposure, and I can relate many parallels to being an entrepreneur and motor racing, Formula One especially. I believe that the exposure is, quite immense in my case. I never thought, from Coimbatore, I would go and race with Michael Schumacher and break barriers and so on and so forth. So I always have the will to succeed, and I believe we have a great platform, and I believe in myself and my team. Teams have always been very crucial in my career, and so in Drivex as well, it's going to be a similar kind of scenario. So you can see there's a lot of parallels between Formula One racing and what I do now.
Narain, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. We wish you the very best of luck with your venture. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Startup Street. More news and updates coming up on the other side.